Because everybody I know identifies as a feminist and identifies with the gender equality issue. People who do not identify as feminists, like Jacqueline Glenn, for example, okay, let's assume that's the case, because I don't know from personal experience. Okay, fine. But let's assume that's the case. When you had the Atheism Plus movement, which I was never a part of and objected to from the beginning, and I'm on record as saying that, when you had the Atheism Plus movement saying that atheism would also include feminism, since you had this minority faction, did that represent the whole? Did that change the definition of atheism? Or was atheism still always and still now, despite their efforts, just a lack of belief in a God? If you're going to be an atheist, I want you to be a rationalist. I want you to be skeptic. I want you to be humanist. I want you to have all of the higher morals. I certainly don't want more associations with totalitarians like Stalin and Mao. Okay. Yeah. Regardless, the definition of an atheist is anybody who doesn't believe there's a God. So if somebody says that just because I don't believe in God doesn't mean that I'm an atheist, would you agree with that?
No. They are.
Of course
atheists.
not. Of course not. They are atheists whether they want to admit it or not. So the definition of feminist is, and this is the only definition of feminism,
who says?
Is anybody, everybody who accepts that women should have social, economic, and political equality with men. That is by definition. That's what the definition of feminist is. Do you get that? Yeah, no. I'm sorry. There's just somebody that's prattling on, obviously has no idea what they're talking about, but just wants to be part of the hate group. Oh. Clearly, I am not part of the hate group. Like I heard about some group in Germany that says that feminists can't be feminists unless they're communist. What the hell? Where did communism ever fit into this? Can you show me one that any feminist organization actually endorses? Except that I'm saying that I have met these people, and they're not practicing what has been said of them. I've never encountered anybody like this, because if I ever did encounter them, I would certainly shut them down and correct them. I've done it. When it was brought up to me that certain people had wanted to advocate, for example, that nobody could be allowed to attend one of the atheist conferences in sexualized clothing, I said no. I objected to that. I said no. We're talking about adults. Obviously, this is an outlier group. Obviously, this doesn't represent the movement at all. These are not what I was talking about, and I was very clear about what I was talking about. So if anybody wants to talk to me about this, they need to be telling me that women should not deserve social, economic, and political equality. And if they're not talking about that, then they need to shut the fuck up, because they're talking about something other than what I specified.